Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm going to try and refrain from talking too much about this pistol, but I could talk about it all day. Of course, we're looking at a Luger. This is known commonly as the P08. It's the Pistola 1908 Parabellum. The reason I could talk about it all day is the history of it, the iconic status of these pistols, but there's already so much out there on the YouTube and other places about it. But this one, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, simply from the standpoint of this pistol rather than Lugers in general. This one was a Erfurt, and it was made in 1918. Bring it up and we'll try and get it to focus there on the important parts. The 1918 and the Erfurt marking. These were also at that time period made by DWM, and the Erfurts are generally considered a little bit rougher. You can see some machine markings on it, but nonetheless they're still a very well built semi-automatic handgun. You can see the wood base magazine in it, which is not period correct, it's an aftermarket. This did not come with correct magazine. Other than that, it is an all numbers matching firearm. 1918, of course, again was the build date. There were actually in 1918 approximately 175,000 made. Sorry, I had to look at my notes. I want to get these numbers right. This is probably about a mid-year production or so, maybe a little earlier, as World War I ended in 1918, and so did production at the Erfurt facility. I'm going to look at some of the markings on it. If you want a Luger with markings, an Erfurt is a fantastic way to go. Toggle lock mechanism works on it, on this old Warhorse. Pull the magazine out. We'll take a look at a few of the markings on it. Gesiegert, of course, on the, which means safety. And then while I have it open, I'm going to go ahead and show you it is empty. If we can lift that extractor up and get it to focus all at the same time. Geladen, if my thumb's kind of in the way, has a loaded chambering or indicator. Geladen stands for charged or loaded. Some of the other markings on these guns, of course, as I said, these have a lot of proof marks on them. They're just all over the gun. On the barrel, you can see the Imperial. This is an Imperial period gun. You can see all kinds of proof marks on the firearm. Serial number is marked on all the parts, and it is a numbers matching gun, as I said. I'm going to kind of bring it in here with the boil. We saw it was empty. More proof marks, but we've got to kind of point it here, and you can see the serial number 1886. I'm not afraid to show that to you. And then it's a series M is part of the serial number also. They would repeat the four numbers of the serial number over and over on these military guns. Sorry about that, tapping the camera. And this one is the M. That puts it approximately midway through that production run of that year. They went through T on this year of production, the 1918, and so M puts it mid to late 1918 on it. You can see another serial number marking, and watch the safety disappear. Everything functions fine on this firearm. The only problem I had with it was a misfitted takedown spring, the bolt lock latch that's called, and it was fairly well worn, so I fitted it a little bit, but we got a new one coming irregardless, because it works pretty good, but we need to replace it. There's some more of that rough machining mark on it. Iconic firearm. Remember, this is well, it's 99 years old right now, nearly 100. And we'll move on to the holster. This holster is also very supple, in good condition. And I'm going to zoom in here, bring it up. There's the markings on it. And I don't know if you can read that or not, but it is also a 1918 date. There we go, that's a little better. And in this is where the hold down tool goes. The button that holds the cover has come loose, and this is the takedown tool that would be with the gun. It's actually the only takedown part of it is the screwdriver to remove the grip screws with. The rest of the gun is going to be disassembled without. There's no more screws in the gun other than those 2 screws. This just is an aid to loading your magazine, as these magazine springs are usually quite tight. So that's how that is used on the button, as an assist to load the magazine. Again, this is an aftermarket. I think it's Triple K brand. Now, I purchased this gun from an online website. Had a pretty good experience with it. He was very accommodating to me. So I said I would mention his name. His website is known as Mr. Luger. And you can look that up if you desire. Usually sells more expensive high-end firearms. Now, don't think I didn't suffer a little to get this firearm, because I had to sell 2 firearms in order to purchase this one, even considering the condition it's in. Mechanically, just fine. I'll give you a sight picture as to actually how tough these sights are. Pretty narrow, pretty hard to use. Fairly accurate gun. I have not, in historically speaking. There's the shoulder stock attachment. These were not issued with shoulder stocks. Only the Navy and artillery, the longer barrel versions of this. This is the 4-inch version. The 6 and 8-inch artillery and Navy versions actually had a shoulder stock that would have been issued with them. But all the guns were manufactured with this lug. So there we have it, a very iconic pistol. Very glad to have one in my collection, and in reasonably good. We're going to go get it out, shoot it with some light loads. Probably won't stress it too much. We'll work up and see what load will fire correctly through the gun, cause the toggle to reset. There's the only flaw in the holster. Other than that, for being 99-year-old leather, we'll demonstrate its use also. It's rather a well-engineered holster. You can see the magazine goes in this pocket on the front. The gun slips in, fits like it's custom made for the pistol. And then of course this strap would be tied down to hold the pistol in place. And then to extract the pistol, you've got this unique strap right here, which actually goes down as you insert it. It loops underneath the trigger guard and then is attached to the back. So when you pull on it, it helps you extract the pistol out. And a lot of times you'll see these holsters cut down in the period. In order to do, they did that in order to get the pistol out easier, so you wouldn't have to use that strap on it. Also has a lanyard loop on the back of the pistol. These were very seldom, I don't know if they were very seldom issued with the gun, but they're very difficult to find. There are aftermarket ones, and I have one. I'm not showing it. It's just a simple leather loop with a leather strap. I don't know how common they were. Like I said, I'm just knowledgeable enough to probably say something completely wrong on these. But this is getting into the higher realm of collecting nowadays. They used to be had cheaply. You're going to be lucky to find one under $1,000, but particularly a military version rather than commercial. Although even some of the commercial ones are in exceptional condition, very expensive. This thing runs like a clock, just manipulating. There's the serial number again on the barrel, and below it, very small letters, 8.83. That's the diameter of the bore. Very nice tight grips. One was a touch loose. It was simply corrected by a small O-ring under that screw, just slightly about smaller than the diameter of the head of the screw, put up to where it smashes down and forces the grip underneath the gun a little bit more right in this area. Tighten it up just fine now. Not too big a problem with a gun of this age. I'm completely happy with it. So there we go, a fine addition to the collection. The World War I P08 Luger, made in, as I said, Erfurt in 1918. So thanks for coming along. Hopefully we'll get it out and shoot it along with some other fine World War I, World War II guns. And we'll see you next time.